Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, episode 83, on Skype, Brandon and Josh.
Hey.
So we'll start off, WWE, Raw, Dean Ambrose, but then John Cena, and then we get a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah, it was nice to see another triple threat tag team match. Not often you see them, so it's kind of something fresh and new.
I just got to get in before Josh here. He's going to complain that the champions lost. So what's your opinion, Josh?
I give up. I give up.
Have Goldust and Stardust even won a match since they've been champs?
No, I believe they haven't won on TV ever since they won the tag team titles, so hopefully they pick up a win soon, because they're a pretty awesome tag team.
Another reason I didn't want them to win the championships in the first freaking place.
It seems really weird that you'd have Gold and Stardust go down to Cena and Ambrose when you could have just easily have made it Usos. Even though it's good guys, doesn't matter.
It's the fact that Cena and Ambrose are supposed to be two people that are butting heads and not supposed to be liking each other, and yet they go over the tag team champions.
Didn't John Cena and Shawn Michaels win the tag team championships?
Yeah,
so did John
Cena
and
and Batista, and John Cena and The Miz, and John Cena and, let's see here, which member of the Nexus was it? I think it was,
David Otunga.
David Otunga.
Wow.
So he's never had a tag team partner that he was actually on good terms with.
Oh.
Maybe this is a pattern. Maybe Dean Ambrose and John Cena will be the tag team champions.
I hope not.
Oh, yeah. It was a good match, even if the tag team champs did have to lose.
Yeah, it was a very good match.
Dean Ambrose still using Dirty Deeds, but not using the front headlock slam. We got double arm DDT now.
Yeah, I think it's a much improved finisher.
Bully.
Yeah, I think that move's always going to be credited towards Mick Foley. So, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about the contract on a pole match. We'll move on. AJ Lee and her newly appointed partner, Layla, taking on Paige and Alicia Foxx.
Yeah, Layla is pretty smart, and she tried to outsmart the smartest WWE diva right now, and that's AJ Lee. And it didn't work. AJ ended up winning the match by herself.
I don't think it went very well for Layla either.
Yeah, Layla got her butt kicked.
Twice, if I remember correctly. Doesn't she also have a match on SmackDown?
Yep, she lost the Divas champion on SmackDown, so if you learn one thing, it's not to cross the Divas champion.
Or to be an idiot like Emma and be paired with her.
Yeah.
So, who's AJ?
It's better to be back crazy and face her than anything else.
So, are we going to see a pattern next week on Raw? Well, this week. It would have happened by now once this aired. AJ Lee with another partner?
I don't know. All I know is that they have announced that AJ and Paige is going to have one more match at the pay-per-view for the title.
One more match. We're reaching into Christian territory here.
Yeah, I think this may be the first time the champion actually retains their title.
No, just to annoy Josh, we're going to switch titles again.
Why not?
What is this now? The fourth straight pay-per-view they've had a match? Everyone's frantically doing math.
Third, I believe.
Third, okay.
Yeah.
They had SummerSlam, they had Night of Champions, and now have Hell in Cell.
Okay. What do we got now? So, we didn't really... The Authority set Cena versus Ambrose, the one we're meant to get at Hell in a Cell, later on in the night. And now Randy Orton wants to face the loser of the match. While the announcers and everyone carefully tap dance around the fact that Orton is facing the loser by saying Orton faces the other man.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're trying to appease
Revolution.
Orton right now.
Yeah, I've heard things about Orton being a little wanting time off and Vince not wanting him to take time off and arguments and fights.
In my opinion, Randy Orton is the hottest WWE superstar right now behind Dean Ambrose. He is on fire on social media with vines of his RKO, and I believe that Randy Orton could pull up an upset against John Cena at Hell in a Cell.
Would it really be an upset, though? I mean, he did just beat him at TLC to unify the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, then beat him at Royal Rumble in the rematch.
Orton's got a pretty good streak against Cena.
And plus, Randy Orton did once defeat John Cena in the Hell in a Cell match. I believe it was Hell in a Cell 2009, I want to say, for the WWE Championship.
Which just set up a no-holds-barred, 30-minute, anything goes Iron Man match. Which Cena won.
Cena always wins. So that Vines, the RKO out of nowhere, that was inspired by the finish to the Orton Ziggler match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was just a wicked RKO. I've always wanted to see an RKO out of that move, the powerbomb, and we finally got to see it, so that was just a really cool moment.
And we got
that meme had been started a long time before that happened.
It blew up after that match, though.
No, it had blown up long before that.
Okay, I'm not hip with the internet.
For months.
WWE embraced them after this match. I'll get it right sooner or later. Am I right on that one?
Not really.
Damn. I'm just going to pretend I'm right and move on. So Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, they're having a bit of a one-upsmanship.
Yeah, it appears so. It looks like we're going to be getting Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins at one point. Of course, after Randy Orton snaps in the Authority, just when that will happen.
It sadly just seems that Jack Swagger's caught in the crossfire there to lose to Rollins.
Yeah, Jack Swagger has lost a bit of steam ever since becoming a good guy. So hopefully he gets some steam back. But facing opponents like Seth Rollins, who's a really tough opponent, that's not going to do much good for him.
I'd almost say he's lost all steam, not just a bit of steam. Okay, so we're going to transition into our classic entrance theme. Josh went a little crazy wacky with this one. What is this, from like the 80s?
No, it's a cartoon show from the 90s.
90s.
Late 90s.
It's called Ultimate Muscle.
Boys from outer space. Get a body slam to human.
And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. So I promised it at the start. Here is a little selection of mine and Josh's interview with former WWE superstar Karma and former TNA superstar Awesome Kong.
Thank you for having me, Grady and Josh.
Yep. I think Josh was wondering, when did you first discover pro wrestling?
Well, back in the 80s when I was young, when it came on every Saturday morning, and then it followed with the cartoon right afterwards. Back in the 80s, my brother used to watch every Saturday, and he ignored the PSAs of "Don't try this at home," and he would apply wrestling holds to me, and I had to watch wrestling on the sly and learn how to, divert, any moves he put on me. And so after that, we started watching wrestling together, and it was awesome. We, would watch with mutual respect and knowing that finally I could lick my little brother in wrestling. He's 3 years younger, and he would kick my ass every Saturday morning.
How do you feel about seeing fellow indie star Havoc as the new TNA Knockouts champion?
Well, it's time to get some new blood up in there. And I love strong style. She's a sturdy girl, and she's young, and she's going to ensure that people stay interested and in wrestling, particularly women's wrestling, and I'm wishing her the best, and I'm rooting for her. And she's facing Gail, so I have to root for her. Hello.
Yeah, I agree. That is something special to see, because I have watched her on Shimmer, and I was impressed with her when I've seen her. So I have been in twice to check out Impact Wrestling just because of Havoc.
Yeah, I actually got a call from TNA for a quote to give a quote about her, or like an interview, and so I asked them for the questions, but I guess we couldn't hook up for them to answer in time. So hopefully with this interview, they'll get out there that I support Havoc, and I'm wishing her the best, and throw them bitches around. That's what we're here for.
Have you had any contact with the WWE since you've left them? And if you were offered, would you go back?
Yes, I have had contacts with WWE. They are they're very good with their alumni. But I have had talks about returning, and it just hasn't panned out and worked out yet. Not to say it won't, and not to say that it will, because the longer things go, the more closed the window gets. But it's not impossible. I mean, people return to WWE all the time. Rob Van Dam comes back all the time. So I'm thinking there still may be a shot. And I'm thinking Kong or Karma, that character is ageless and timeless. So, I still got some time. I'm still young. And your other question was...
whether you'd go back if they offered.
Oh, heck yeah. Hello. Heck yeah. Of course I would.
All right.
I've turned down returning to TNA just to stay at WWE alumni, because, as soon as you go back to TNA, they take you off the alumni page. So, heck yeah. Heck yeah, I would.
So something that WWE's doing that TNA isn't doing is Total Divas. Have you watched that at all?
I have watched that.
What do you think of it as a concept for the show?
I think it's a great start. I haven't watched this season yet. It's piled up on my DVR. I'm a binge watcher. I like to wait for seasons to be over and then to take a weekend and watch them all in one swoop. But I think it's a great start. I wish that reality TV in general nowadays was a little bit more real.
If you were offered, like, say you're still with WWE and you were wrestling on their roster and you were offered to go on Total Divas, is that the sort of thing you'd do?
It would, because I think, I think the most boring day of mine is extraordinary. It might be boring on my end, but somebody watching me like, oh my gosh, this is just addicting. Yeah, I have pretty interesting days.
Okay. Do you have an example of one of these interesting days that's safe for radio?
Well, I mean, the thing is with me is I always say what's on my mind. I really don't. I don't edit myself, even though I should sometimes. It would be smarter for me to edit myself, but I don't. And when I think I'm right, when I believe I'm right, I stick to, believing I'm right. And I will tear the whole damn house down, room down, building down. If I believe I'm right, you're wrong, and you're being a jackass, then, we're going, fisticuffs.
Yeah.
And so to put that on tape might be a little bit explosive. It might be a little bit too much. But I mean, I'm also a kind person too. There's many facets of me. And it's hard to keep up, because you're like, okay, she's not just this. This bitch is crazy. She's either really kind and she's doing a good deed, or she's cussing somebody out. I can't keep up. What is she doing today? And that's my everyday life.
Okay.
It's just not one plane. It's just I'm a different Kia. I'm a different Kong every day that I wake up. You never know what you're gonna get.
A reality show in and of itself.
But yes, seriously, you never. Amanda Bynes ain't got shit on what's going on over here.
That's fun.
Okay. You sort of touched on it on there. You like doing the good deeds. I've heard about your upcoming Kickstarter. if you'd like to share some information about that.
I would. I've launched a Kickstarter. The working title is The Good Karma Tracker. As people know, I worked under the name Karma with an H in WWE, and I chose that name because I do believe that you get what you put out in the world. I love doing good deeds, and I think that people would do more good deeds if they could see the effects of those deeds. So I'm raising money to build a website where you could potentially track the good deeds that you do. So with a special serial number or token, you'd be able to give that to the person that you asked to pay it forward to, and they can go on the site and then log in the kind deed that you did and then how they paid it forward, and it goes on and on and on from there. And my hope is that, a good deed makes it all around the world, and you'd be able to track it, on, Google Maps, for instance, and you just see your good deed go on and go on and go on and go on. And you can find the link to that on my Twitter, @Karma, KHARMA, and on my Facebook, the Kia Stevens Project, and then on Kickstarter.com itself under the Good Karma Tracker.
Okay, I know we'll be Facebooking and tweeting those links out as well.
Thank you.
Just talking about the project, it sounds awesome that you'd be able to see. I know, at least in New Zealand, we're always talking about, like, if you smile at someone, they'll pass that on to someone else. But it's really hard to actually physically see that happening. But with your website, it would be awesome to see, like, this person helped someone in, like, Idaho, and then that moves across, and then you'd jump over to, like, England, and you'd trace it all around the world.
Exactly. My hope is that it just encouraged people just to be a little less cynical and, make the world a little less crappier, just a little bit. There's so much stuff going on in the world, if you just got something just to make you feel a little bit better, even if it's just for 20 minutes a day, then that's good. Because, there are things that I do in my life that I got to kind of, I got to find a way to do a good deed and even that out, because that was, I cut somebody off in traffic the other day, so I got to do a good deed to make up for that.
So the rest of that interview is on YouTube. You can probably look for it. Just search Karma Interview, Wrestling Roundup. You'll find it. It's got a big green image, stands out from the crowd. Or you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling R Radio, our website, wrestlingroundup.host22.com. It's up on all of those ones, and as I said, it's on YouTube. Look for it, Karma Interview, Wrestling Roundup. So now we'll jump into our current entrance theme of the week, Slater Gator, and when we get back, we will talk about the rest of Raw.
Slater Gator! Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah!
And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Josh, and Brandon. So back on Raw, Big Show versus Rusev, interrupted by Mark Henry.
Yeah, and we're getting closer and closer to that Henry heel turn.
We are going to get the heel turn, and it is going to be exactly like Grady said, because he's that awesome.
To be honest, I'm not too sure who will eventually be the bad guy.
It's looking pretty Henry-ish.
Yeah, but the way Big Show has been acting, I don't know. Maybe we could see a heel turn from him. But to be honest, the booking of this feud is kind of ridiculous because Big Show and Mark Henry have been looking like bad guys because Rusev's just defending his country and they're just attacking him and looking like sore losers, to be honest.
Maybe double heel turn.
Yeah, we saw a bit of a World's Strongest Tag Team between the two, and I'd love to see a monster heel tag team like that.
So yeah, Rusev's getting quite badly attacked lately, even if he is winning the matches by disqualification.
Yeah, Rusev got really, really close to beating Big Show without any interference by Lana, fair and square. But Mark Henry, being a sore loser that he is, just breaks up the match and Rusev's big win.
But it does mean we get to see Big Show versus Rusev at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and it's not in a Hell in a Cell, so we're seeing the same match you got on Raw. Hopefully better.
And what I'm thinking that's when the turn happens, and Mark Henry becomes a Russian sympathizer.
But that can't happen. Grady didn't predict that.
That's what I predict.
It must go exactly the way Grady said.
It's going to happen. Watch it. Henry will join the Russian Revolution.
I don't believe it. I won't believe it until I see it, and then I still won't believe it. So what's next? Miz, Sheamus, Mizdow, bit of everybody.
Mizuz?
Mizai. I definitely think at this point now, Mizdow is completely outshadowing or better than The Miz.
Yeah, so that's why I'm hoping at Hell in a Cell, some way, somehow, Damian Mizdow walks out United States champion.
And yet you were the one that was against him winning the Intercontinental Championship. Because he wasn't doing anything before. He hadn't won in months.
But now he actually has some steam. People are starting to like him, so...
Still the same record.
Your opinion is flip-flopping more times than Big Show. But
Well, really, I was against Damian Mizdow winning the IC title because we just saw a title change. And also, Damian Mizdow did not have the momentum he has now with people like Mick Foley praising him on Twitter.
either way, I definitely think Mizdow is going to get a title before The Miz.
Yeah, I hope so. Maybe The Miz chickens out and just says, Damian, you soften him up, but don't win the match. That's a stupid idea, but if it gives him the title, I'm all for it.
Pretty sure it's exactly what Josh was predicting a couple of pay-per-views ago. But with the IC title.
Yeah. Either that or they do a switcheroo and nobody realizes it, quote unquote.
Twin matches.
And he wins the title and runs off.
That also works. Nene Leakes and the Six Diva tag team match.
I was watching Raw on DVR and I skipped this match entirely.
I want to say you didn't miss much.
A big point coming out of this match is Brie Bella pinning her sister Nikki Bella, so we could be getting a preview of the future. Hopefully not, because I really like Nikki Bella over Brie.
But what a weird stipulation to have on their match at Hell in a Cell.
Well, it could be worse. They could be fighting over this Brie Bella name.
Yes, it could be worse. But it could also be much better.
Oh, yeah, it could be a contract on a pole match. Oh, wait, we just saw one of those.
No holds barred contract on a pole match.
It could be fluffy handcuffs on a pole match.
As long as it wasn't the Bella name on a pole match.
Paddle on a pole.
It's a pole on a pole match. So, Bray Wyatt had a little promo. Doesn't sound like he's coming with the Ascension or anything to me. It sounds like he's going singles.
Nah. There's something coming.
Yeah, I got that. It's coming.
And I think it's the next version of the Wyatt family.
I think we should listen to Josh, because this was the person who predicted Dean Ambrose debuting at Survivor Series, so...
Good call.
Something I'll never stop mentioning, because that was the ultimate prediction.
You're doing it again? You're putting everything on the line, saying that the Ascension will be the new Wyatt family?
I'm going to say yes, because I believe that their gimmick can work with the with Bray Wyatt's gimmick.
Okay.
The fact that they are this dark in their characteristics, I think will work well. I just don't think it'll be as good as the original.
Okay. So we're quickly running out of time, but we'll jump on main event, no holds barred, contract on a pole match, John Cena versus Dean Ambrose. The Authority attack, and Dean capitalizes on the distraction.
And waves goodbye to John Cena.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose, he was not seen by John Cena climbing up to the pole and retrieving the contract. It looked like the contract was held by twine, so it was pretty easy for him to retrieve.
But the best thing is that the fans didn't need to riot, because we're going to get Ambrose Rollins.
Yeah, I think this could be the end of the feud for now at Hell in a Cell, and have Dean Ambrose beat Seth Rollins, and then have Rollins go on to face Randy Orton, then have Ambrose maybe do something with Lesnar or John Cena. So this could be the end of the feud for now. Maybe we'll probably see it be revisited at some point with either one holding the title.
I don't think this is the end.
Dun dun dun.
I see Survivor Series coming.
Well, on that note, it's perfect time. We've run out of time. It's been great talking to you two.
We were talking too.
So you
Team
can...
Dean Ambrose versus Team Seth Rollins.
Oh, we got the last words in. So it's been great. You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio, or our website, wrestlingroundup.host22.com, wrestlingroundup.host22.com. As I said, all of the links to the Karma interview are on there, or just go to YouTube and search Karma Interview Wrestling Roundup. I'll see you next week.